trust, dependency, love, respect, passion, pain, intimacy, pleasure. I sit here stuck inside my head, remembering you and I analyze all those things you said. You told me you love me, you kissed and you hugged me, then you smile, you look in my eyes and tell me that you'll always be right there.
Good evening, and it's Friday nights with the Crazy Rich Aunties right here on PGC After Dark. Come on in, sit down, and get ready for a hell of a conversation tonight. Tonight we are talking fuck buddies and feelings. Can casual sex be good for your mental health? We gonna get into it shortly, but tonight we are here with the aunties. We got none other than your girl Leah Rochelle, Auntie Regina, Auntie Lindsay, and Auntie D up in this thing tonight. Hi ladies, how y'all doing? Y'all gotta unmute.
Hey, everybody.
It's a
Happy
fantastic
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, how y'all doing?
Good.
I'm awesome.
Doing good. It is
No
Friday.
complaints over here. No complaints over here.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. Chilling. Winding down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Winding down just a tad bit. So tonight we are talking fuck buddies and feelings. How y'all feeling about the conversation that's getting ready to take place?
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. I'm ready.
Okay, we gonna see how ready y'all is. We gonna see. Um, sorry, I'm just pulling up my notes here. My computer decided it wanted to do its own thing at the last minute, so I had to go back and pull up the notes. Okay. So last week we had a really good conversation. Um, was last week orgasms and overthinking? Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yes, it
So
was.
last week we talked about orgasms and overthinking and getting yours and all of that and being present. And we even touched a little bit on talking about BDSM and all of those kind of sexy, fun, conversational things. But in the midst of last week's conversation, we did touch on this just a little bit. And I want to know, have you guys ever caught feelings for someone that you were simply in a situationship with?
Absolutely.
Yes, every time.
Okay, then. Not every time, Lindsay.
I mean, yeah, I'm a hot mess. I be loving them and just wanting them to be my man.
Oh, Lord, girl. Not every time.
No, Lizzie.
I know. It went from not having an orgasm to wanting them to be my man. It doesn't make sense, does it?
It happens though all the time.
It does.
To the best of us.
It does.
Absolutely. I'm just
It
like,
does.
dang, she said every time.
Every time.
That just ain't your forte, baby.
It's not.
That is not your thing.
Lindsay just loves love. It's nothing wrong with that. You just love.
I do.
Nah. Stop lying. Now, if she falling every time and she knows it's a situationship, it is something wrong with that. It's absolutely something wrong with that. I I'm gonna keep it a buck with you because you are constantly putting yourself in a situation for your heart to be broken, for mixed feelings and misunderstandings to continuously take place. But then you're also putting yourself in the space of feeling like that because you had this situation that they should have wanted or valued you more. So therefore we're gonna move into a relationship.
Sometimes, but here's the thing though, is that these men would like, even I'd be like down for a situationship, right? Like I'm for it, but they would give me a relationship like attitude. Like this is like, we're not in a relationship, but we're going to act like we're in a relationship, but we're not in a relationship. So then my brain switches off to like, it's a situationship to like, I guess we're in this thing. And so then my heart's like, oh, relationship. But my mind's like, dude, it's a situationship. So it's the way that the things start happening, I guess, the way when you start spending more time with someone.
So that just means you fail to get more clarity from that situation. And I only can say that because that was, it was a lesson learned that they're going to navigate how they navigate as long as you're not asking questions, as long as you're not setting boundaries, as long as you're not saying, hey, well, no, this is not what we agreed to. And then also making that known. Hey, you moving like we're in a relationship, so I need to be clear on what we're doing here. Having clarity is a big thing. So if you want to act like we're in a relationship, then we either need to be in a relationship or we need to continue to be in a situationship. We can't straddle the fence, because when you straddle the fence, that means we don't have clarity. That means we have all the potential in the world for both of our feelings to be misconstrued, taken out of place, taken out of whack. And I would prefer to have clarity. Now, if a man is not willing to give you clarity on what the fuck it is y'all doing, then that's when you set that shit straight right then. Well, if we can't have clarity and we don't know what we're doing, then we gonna have to stop. We just gonna have to let it be. Because again, that will continue as long as you'll let them continue.
That's that toxic.
Absolutely.
Shit.
It is. It's absolutely toxic. And so, I've been even making my few little rounds. Like, what we doing? And when I ask that don't mean that I want to be in a relationship with you. That just means before I let this other man take me out on a date, what we doing? So I can be clear over here, so I can be clear over there, and be clear if it's FOMO that I'm dating, I could be clear all the way around and not have no feelings or be fully invested in one situation that knows that they don't want more than a situation with me.
It's true.
But also, you don't get the full benefit of me if it's a situation ship.
It's true.
So I had to learn that too. You want a situationship? I talk to you when I talk to you. I see you when I see you. We deal with each other when we deal with each other. Other than that, ain't no full-on access. You chose limited access. This is your limited access pass then, bruh. Because some people be paying for the limited access pass, but then think they got full reign of the park. No, sir. So, be careful out here, honey. Because protecting your heart and making sure that you are valuing yourself and showing that they need to value you in those situations is important too.
That's true.
And have the hard fucking conversations. I know a lot of us don't be wanting to have them hard conversations. Have the hard fucking conversation. Because that's when you're going to find out what you really need to find out.
It's true.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, let me schedule some hard conversations for this evening. Oh, because I'm not playing about my peace no more. I'm not playing about people being in my space or building with or growing with who don't value me, who don't show up for me. Been there, done that. I'm cool on it. Y'all can go on about y'all business.
Baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I did that little thing on ChatGPT and it said stop trying to build empires with people who wouldn't even build a sandcastle with you, I've really been over here trying to eliminate the people who won't build sandcastles with me. Because why I'm trying to build with motherfuckers who don't even want to, you don't even want to put together a sandcastle. What you think you finna go along this journey with me to my building my empire? No, thank you.
Excellent.
I wish you well. So, in the meantime, in between time, that means all of the people, that feel like they have access to me too, in whatever capacity. I ain't gonna tell my business, but in whatever capacity. And a lot of people feel like you can't demand certain things from a situation. Yes, the fuck I can.
You really can.
I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think about
Hey, when I'm busting it wide open, I can ask you for anything. That's just how I feel.
Okay.
True.
Because if I'm up here and put my ankle behind my head. So what do you mean? And then don't sit up here and talk to me about no fucking feelings. Don't talk to me about you can't tell me your feelings. Or if it does change and you do start to feel stuff, don't sit up here and act like you not. We grown.
That part.
And you're human. That's the crazier part. Is that people disregard the fact that they're human. You've been around this motherfucker now. You up here like, oh my God, I did not know this bitch was so bomb. Oh my God, I didn't know this man was so bomb either. And so now y'all up here all in love with each other, but neither one of y'all want to say y'all in love with each other. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Because y'all out here crazy.
It be that ego and that pride.
Oh, pride is a motherfucker.
Yes, pride is a motherfucker for real.
Yeah, but then also you have people who have been hurt. And so then they are like, I'm feeling her, I'm in love with her, I'm in love with him, and they hold their feelings back. And that's not good.
Scared to say something.
Yep.
Oh, y'all got me ready to send out some text messages. I'm up here like, them fingers gonna be going later, okay? Because we need to talk. We need to talk. Have some understanding. Get some straightening around these parts.
Right.
So what's the difference to y'all between casual sex, situationships, and friends with benefits? What's the difference? What is the difference? Hey, Doc.
Friends with benefits, I think there's a little more deeper connection, and you're more invested because you're a friend. In a situationship, baby, you want to hit it and quit it. Come on, come knock the cobwebs off of this and
not the cobwebs.
That's it. That's all.
Yes. Okay. Because I agree. Like casual is just. I feel like casual and situationships are kind of like borderline, similar. I think casual is just, somebody that you just have sex with. A situationship is slightly more connected than casual. But friends with benefits is a lot more deeply connected, and there's a whole bunch of layers to that friendship But now I feel like a lot of people have like these amazing friendships, then they just add sex, which sometimes can be okay, and then it turns out to be a whole fucking relationship. But other times it goes
Bad.
south.
Yep.
It goes bad, and it goes bad fast.
Yep. Because one of y'all might want like a true relationship, and the other one is like, you know, I'm cool with just being in the where we at now.
Yep.
Yeah, and you have some people that's vindictive and they take it to a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm. And be mad. You know, some people get mad because they don't get the desired outcome that they thought that they were going to get in that situation. And so now they are really doing everything they can to make this person see them, value them, want them, and all those kind of things. And the reality is that you never will make them see that in you, because they've already decided what they want from you.
And got what they wanted from you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think in a lot of the spaces that we enter in, when it comes to like situationships and friends with benefits, and just those two in particular, friends with benefits is cool when you can continue the communication, like when y'all can really communicate. But a lot of times that's not the thing. There's no communication there. We just fucking. There is no communication there. We just fucking. And then y'all out here just fucking. And then the minute somebody say something about their feelings or about their, you know, well, what I was thinking was this or blah, 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 then it's like, what you mean? You know what I'm saying? Now, and the one thing I hate when the man say, can we just go with the flow? Which flow?
Oh, I hate that too.
Because I got Aunt Flo, River Flow, No Flow. Like, what are we talking about here, sir? So yeah, just can we go with the flow is not a real thing. No.
Mm-hmm.
No. What flow? And that is the easiest cop out for somebody to literally tell you that they want nothing from you. Had to learn that the hard way. That's when you know. If somebody say, oh, I just want to go with the flow. No, I'm cool. Because that means you don't even know what you want this to be. You just know you want to have access to me. I'm cool.
That part.
So, well, what's the song? I think you better leave me alone. Get your bags and get the hell on. Because no, sir, we not about to sit up here and do that. Go on about your business, young sir. Yeah. What's y'all got any additional thoughts on that?
When I think about situationships, I think about like when you a side piece. That's what I think when I think of a situationship. Like you dealing with a married man and you his side chick, mistress, or you're dealing with a man that's in a committed relationship and you the side chick. That's what I think of when I think of situationship. The casual sex is just somebody you hook up with. Y'all have sex, and when it's over with, you go your way, I go mine. So I don't kind of look at those two the same. Because, you know, with situationships, when you are a person that's dealing with somebody married, or you're a person that's dealing with someone that's in a committed relationship, that person that you're involved with may behind the scenes be taking you out on dates or going on trips with you or buying you things, paying bills, or whatever the case may be. But it's all in secrecy because they got a main lady or they got a wife. That's what I consider a situationship.
Oh, I ain't mad at it. I'm just sitting up here like, that is another way to look at it.
In comparison to casual sex, because casual sex, it just is what it is. I'm horny. I like how you lay it down. I'm gonna shoot you a text. I'm gonna make a phone call. We're gonna arrange for the time you gonna come through. We're gonna do what we gotta do, and we're gonna send you out the door like Lindsay say with no water.
No water.
That's then the
At
drink.
all.
Listen,
Nothing.
so
You'll be doing good if you get a washcloth.
I mean, I
see,
respect that.
when I had my previous situation,
You can't spend the night. None of that.
My situationship based on Deidre's definition. I'm being very clear about that. Based on Deidre's definition of a situationship, now here is your towel. Go ahead and get yourself together and get up out of here because, you know, that's the least I can do.
Yeah, that's the least.
Yeah, you know, go and get yourself together because, and I say that simply because based on Deidre's definition, they was getting ready to go home to their person, and I knew this. So therefore, in order to keep the peace over there, so you don't want to be bringing that shit over here, go in there, wash your face, get yourself together, and then go on up out of here. You know, cause you finna go home, and I don't need nobody pulling up over here. First of all, that's really what I don't need. But also, going on, cause I don't need your energy from your home front coming over here either.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's going on over there, you keep that shit over there. So, but also, depending on the person, like if we friends or whatever, it's weird. It's weird out here in these streets, y'all. But that was just my thing. Like, go in there, wash your face, get yourself together, and ski that deal. But yeah, like I've had situationships based on Deidre's definition. That were simply that. We were going on dates. We was hanging out. We was having a good time. We was having good sex. And it was on the low. None the wiser. Nobody knew nothing.
Right.
And then you going on home and do your thing. But that was at a time where I just was like, I really didn't care. I do think when my mental health wasn't its best, I was willing to deal with anything and settle for a lot. But also, I really did not want to be in a full-on relationship. I wanted companionship. I wanted all the other things. I just didn't want a relationship. No, sir, you can have that. You can have all of that, sir. I don't want none of it. I just want to be able to hang out with you, call you. I mean, it's still a relationship to an extent, but I don't want the title. I don't want the responsibility. Let her be responsible for all of your woes and sad things and all of that. Keep that over there. I want the fun. I want the good times. I want the good food, the good sex, and then peace out. Now I want my person, and I ain't even gonna say my person, possibly my people.
Okay, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all.
My person or possibly my people. And I just want to chill. Like I said, this summer I'm gonna be on a few shenanigans, but it's really just gonna be a matter of me dating. Like dating in a for real way. Like I have never been the girl that dates multiple people at one time. But times change and so have I. So I'm finna date all of them. See,
as you should.
Win.
As you should.
May the best man win.
May the best man win. Absolutely.
May the best man win. Okay. Shit.
I ain't turning down no dates.
Say that.
Not none. But that also means I got to get outside this summer. So I plan to go outside. I got to get outside. Cause you know, you can't go on dates when all you do is work.
That's true.
Ain't
Or
nobody
sitting
asking you on no
down.
date when all you do is work.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to get outside, y'all. But so is there a real thing as such thing as no strings attached? Do y'all think?
Yes, absolutely. I'm not saying like every person I've slept with has been like a situationship. There have been men where I've let them slide in and I need them to slide right back out. That's when they don't get any water. Okay. So like there are times and places for what it needs to be, and then you need to go.
Okay. What about you, D?
I feel like friends with benefits is no strings attached. Because you're friends, there are benefits, but there's no commitment. So there's no strings attached. So what I see that as is when we're together, we're doing what we're doing. And when we're not together, you do you and I'm going to do me. But while we're together, we're going to respect one another. When we're not together, you do you. And if I just so happen to find out about some other involvement, it's no strings attached.
Mm-hmm. I get it. So when you think about no strings being attached, does that mean that it doesn't have any emotional impact either?
No, not at all.
Is that even possible?
It can be. It depends on the individual. I just personally think if you're dating multiple people, if you're in a situationship, or if you're friends with benefits, no strings attached, you just have to be mentally strong enough for that period.
Situation. Yep.
Some people are not strong enough to be in anything other than a committed relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be mentally stable enough. You have to be mature enough to be in either one of those three situations I just said, in my opinion. A situationship, because again, if I'm in a situationship, meaning I know that you have a main lady and I know that I'm a chick on the side. However, if you do something to upset me, I can't blow up your spot at home because this is what I signed up for.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I just got to deal with my feelings, but I can't blow up your spot because this is what I signed up for.
Oh, so I got a question based on what you just said, Deidre. So you said I got to deal with my feelings. So
Let me give you a scenario.
no, wait. I know what
Okay.
you're saying. I know what you're
Uh-huh.
saying. I was getting ready to ask a different question.
Okay.
So at what point can you or should you express those feelings to that person? Even if it is a situationship, should you, like, if it's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna blow up your spot, but I do need to have this conversation with you, or I do need to talk to you about how my feelings or how I feel about what we got going on, or whatever the case may be. Are you always supposed to swallow your feelings?
I think when it comes to anything involving that wife or that main lady, now here's where communication comes into play. The situationship needs to have communication too. Am I going to be the only side chick?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Or is there going to be somebody else? Because, yeah, you're going to be in your feelings if you find out it's another side chick. Because
Yeah.
what side chick sign up to be multiple, sharing with another side chick?
I didn't sign up to be number 3 and 4.
Oh,
I
well,
signed up
I
to be
didn't
number
sign.
2.
I'm already sharing with your wife or your main lady. I ain't signed up to share with nobody else. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. So again, that's where you got to even communicate in that situation.
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
Even if it ain't nobody else involved, I feel like if there are some feelings that come about while you're dealing with somebody, I feel like you definitely should express them to that person. Because you are human. So your feelings are valid, regardless of if the situation that you're a part of is jacked.
Yeah.
The fact that you have feelings is still valid, and the fact that it may be a complicated kind of feeling, or the feeling may be just like raggedy feeling. I think you should still express those feelings to that person, because you never know, like, how the clarity of the conversation may benefit you. Because you can be thinking that they don't give a fuck about you, your feelings, or nothing, and then having a conversation, you might be like, oh. And the whole truth is that they do. They just trying to, keep shit separate, or whatever the case may be. I don't know. But I do think it is important to voice those feelings and those thoughts sometimes.
Yeah, because if you don't voice them, sometimes people build resentment toward that other person, because it's like, well, I'm gonna keep my feelings to myself, but then you start harboring these resentments, and that stuff can play out in multiple ways. You got these women out here trying to kill the wife or the other girlfriend because
some fatal attraction.
That part, they didn't express their feelings.
And they just got it all balled up on the inside.
Yep. And they're like, well, I just want him for myself, or I just want her for myself. And you got that fatal attraction, which is not good for anybody.
Projecting your pain onto the other person and expecting them to be able to understand what you're going through, even though they had no idea because you didn't say nothing.
That part.
So being able to speak clear and your boundaries need to be firm. And I'm learning that now. I know what I want. So if I'm going to expect something and I say that this is what I want, here are the boundaries in place. And if the boundaries are being crossed, then we're not going to do this thing.
Yep. You have to set them, because when you set your expectations, then everybody knows how it's going to play out. And if you stick to your expectations, because you have a lot of people who be like, well, it has to be this way, it has to be that way. But then they just like, well, I'm just going to forget about it. I'm just going to, let them do what they want to do. No, because your feelings are very valid. And no, at this point in my life, if you not bringing me some kind of happiness or peace, I don't need you. I've worked too hard to get to this space where I'm at now to let somebody come and compromise my happiness. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Oh, word. I'm co-signing.
Same.
Baby.
I don't want anyone to interrupt my peace and my goals. If you're not going to either do either or, like bring value to my life in any way, even if it's like a brief encounter. I don't need you, like a situationship, friends with benefits, a casual encounter. If you are not bringing energy, like life energy into my space, then don't be in it. Because if I sleep with you and you're on some bullshit, then you're going to bring bullshit into my life, and then I'm going to deal with that and have to heal from that. And I don't want it.
Right. It's that fallout that you got to deal with. You be like, I never anticipated this. Yeah.
Exactly.
I just can't get with the situationship. I can't.
No, I don't want to be nobody's side piece.
I just can't.
I don't want to ruin nobody's marriage. I don't want to ruin nobody's relationship. They say karma's a bitch. And I don't want none of that.
For real.
And I don't want to be in, and know it. Because sometimes you can be in a situation and not even know it.
Part.
Because the person hasn't been truthful with you.
Yes. I was with a gentleman and I thought I was his girlfriend. And I thought we were together, we were happy, and come to like we were together for 6 months. He had met my uncles. We were really in it, and turns out to be he was married the whole time, and I was the side piece, and so we were not in a relationship. We were in a situationship.
Nasty.
Yeah.
I was hot.
But no. See, that's how people get hurt. That is how people get hurt.
That's how people get killed.
Yes.
That's tough.
That is how people get hurt.
Because here you are introducing him to your family, thinking that you are a couple, and all along he knows he has a wife at home.
Yep. He had a daughter. So he used to talk to me in the car around his daughter, but he would never say babe or whatever. And I never thought anything of it. And then it was like, you were talking to me like I was a friend. And so you were making sure that I felt comfortable enough to think that you were telling everybody about me. But in reality is you had a wife and you're playing both sides. I refuse to be a situationship.
So let's get to the nitty-gritty of the conversation tonight. The question is, can casual sex be good for your mental health?
Absolutely not.
Nah.
No.
I think it depends on the space you're in your life.
Casual sex can be good for your mental health?
No. Bag it up. Let's bag it up.
Yeah, let's bag that up for real.
Let's bag it back up. Because really and truly, if you think about it, it does depend on the space you're in at that time. Because sometimes you just need that little
release.
Baby, get that little, pop that one off and
be done with it.
Because if you know, sex releases endorphins. You need that endorphins released. So baby, yeah.
You horny.
Yeah. Be like, baby, hey, I'm horny. I need you to come over here. Let me go ahead and get it. And
let me do what I do, boo.
That's it. I don't need nothing else. I need this,
Because for whatever reason, you are not in a relationship. You may not desire to be in a relationship, but you have needs. And you know you can call that person to get the job done.
Yeah. But sometimes you get
the maintenance man. You can call the maintenance man.
Say that. Because sometimes
you call the maintenance man.
Yourself. You want that personal touch, not you touching yourself.
Yeah. I feel like it can absolutely be good for your mental health, but also I feel like sometimes when you have that casual kind of thing, that depending on the person or the situation, like you should be able to say, hey, I need you to come do this. And they pull up and come do that. And not it be, well, what you gonna do for me? Block. No. Fuck around. Move around. Cause no. I'm very matter of factly when if I am having casual sex, no, don't ask me all them other questions about you.
It's all about me.
I don't care about your needs at this point in time. I know what mine are. Here are my needs. I'm asking you to come fulfill it. Now, if I'm asking you to come fulfill my needs, do you think I am going to let you leave without yours being fulfilled? You fucked up the thought process in the moment or the feeling because I already told you that I needed my needs met.
Isn't that a turn off? That's such a turn off.
It is. I already told you I told you I needed my needs met. So therefore, my needs were going to come first. But absolutely, I was going to make sure that you were taken care of, sir. But instead, you asked dumbass questions and it turned me off. So I don't even want it no more. I'm finna go
exactly.
rub it home.
Let me ask a question though. So if you bring somebody over, right, and they don't fulfill what you need them to fulfill, is your mental health going to be like is it going to be get better from that, or is it going to still be like I'm just like still
It's
not
probably
in a great
still gonna
space?
be jacked.
It's gonna be still jacked. That's why you got to call the right person, Lindsay. You got to call the right
You got to
person.
call the one.
You
know
already
that's gonna
got to
get the
know what
job
you're
done.
working with, the person working with, when you reach out to them.
That part.
You can't gamble with the casual sex now. You can't gamble with it. You got to already know what they're working with.
Tell them. Tell them.
Or y'all have encountered each other enough to know that they'll get you right there. Like it don't even have
They're
to be
gonna get
over
you
the
where you
top,
need
but they
to
gonna
go.
get you there.
Yep.
So I feel like sometimes, hey Keisha. I feel like sometimes when it comes to casual sex, that we kind of treat the person that we having casual sex with as disposable. And I'm not saying that they supposed to be like somebody you locked in with, but also we don't have to treat them like they disposable either. You know what I'm saying? Like get your like I feel like a lot of times people just treat those kind of situations like you don't really give a fuck about that person. I absolutely do give a fuck about you as a person. I give a fuck about your day and all of that other kind of stuff, but come do what I asked you to do. I asked you to come over here and talk. Okay? I didn't ask for that. So I don't know. I think I'd be operating differently. And I move to the beat of my own drum when it comes to that, I guess you could say. But I think casual sex can be good for your mental health. I think it can be good because sometimes you can get the clarity knocked up in you. Okay?
Yeah.
Get those things knocked loose. Now you can get some clarity going on because your brain is cloudy and foggy and you can't see your left from your right because you ain't had none in about 8 months, 10 months, 18 months, you know, and you up here like, yeah, damn. So it may be, I feel like that's one reason that it's really good because it'll help you in that regard. But another thing that I feel like casual sex does, it helps with your confidence. It helps with like your body image. Because this is somebody who's appreciating your body, even if it's only for a moment. Like they have to like you in order to appreciate your body so that sex can be casual.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like in order for the sex to be casual, they gotta really fucking like you and your body and what you got going on.
They gotta be physically
like
attracted to you. They gotta be physically and sexually attracted to you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they gotta have some kind of attraction to you. They can't just be like, I just want to hump on you because that's not gonna work.
Right.
Like that's not
be
gonna
an
work at
attraction.
all.
Yeah, you can feel it. You be like, hold up, wait a minute.
Yeah, so y'all not even gonna have the sex that y'all think y'all gonna have because y'all not even having a connection.
That chemistry's thrown off.
Yeah, it's gonna be off, and then we're gonna be over here like we was talking about last week, overthinking and not getting to the orgasm. You're gonna be out here overthinking and not getting to the orgasm. So when we talk about being physically and sexually attracted to this person, but then there may be some other factors. You might be not emotionally, but you might be like mentally attracted to this person. This person might set you off mentally. And it ain't even got to be physically. They might just set your shit off mentally because they talk, how they talk or the conversations that they have with you. That might set you off. And that might be your thing. That might be your little kink. Talk to me nice. So I think that's a good side of it. Again, like Regina said, it's getting those hormones moving and going and popping off. So we need that a lot of times to help with creativity. We need it to help with momentum. We need it to help with our heart rate. And the saying is true. I don't know if y'all knew, but the saying is true. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never heard it used for sex though.
Oh yeah. It's a real thing. If you don't use it, you lose it. Doctors will tell you that after so long, like it'll get tight, and sometimes it'll get too tight to the point that your sex becomes painful. So if you don't use it, you lose it.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah. And then the other part of it is that it fulfills human need for intimacy and connection. As long as this person is not treating you, again, like I said, like you're disposable. Like that's all they want from you. Like, because I feel like even if it's casual, y'all can still be cool. It don't have to be like strictly sex. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes when we think about sex and all those kind of things, like if it's casual, when we say casual, we treat it as though that person means absolutely nothing. You are just somebody I call only for sex. I don't care nothing about nothing when it comes to you. But also casual sex can be that it's somebody that you cool with. Might not be your friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Might not be your friend that you having benefits with. But it may be somebody that you cool with, that you like, oh, I fucks with you. It ain't got to be your friend with benefits. But I fuck with you, little buddy. You know what I'm saying? You good? How you doing? How you feeling? Because you want to be able to check in on that regard, because if you're not knowing what's going on with them and that, then that shit gonna be on you. They come over there, all of their energy fucked up, and you thinking y'all finna have some good ass sex. This nigga just gave you the angriest sex of his life because he had a bad day.
Right.
You over there trying to figure out why you angry.
That be this soul tie stuff.
Okay. So yeah. Some shit just be wild, y'all. I be trying to figure out the benefits of some of this stuff sometimes. Cause leave me alone. That's where I be at sometimes, but also I'll be like, no, come talk to me. Everybody, come talk to me. You know, cause I be having the need for human connection in a for real way.
Yeah.
And when it comes to human connection in a for real way with me, you would think based on what I do that I have human connection with. I don't. There is no connection in what we do. There's no real connection there. So I like having conversations with people. I am, as El Varner said, a conversational lush. I love having conversations. I love talking to people. I love learning people. I tell people all the time, you can call me. The team, most of y'all know that I am not a texter. Call me. I will tell you in a minute. Call me. But I'm absolutely a conversational lush. Talk to me about all the things, about your day, about what's on your brain and what's on your heart. How you feeling? Well, let's just shoot the shit and talk about randomness. Because I think we be so focused on talking about like issues. Like, can we talk about your goals and your dreams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We be up here trying to talk about getting some. You want to talk about coochie, sir? Did you know I know how to play the tambourine? Did you know that?
Right.
Did you know I am responsible for full Thanksgiving dinners? Did you know that? Did you know that I know how to jump rope at this age with these knees? Did you know? So let's talk about some random shit, because you should know. You should know me and not just be fucking on me.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep.
I don't know. I be trying not to go too deep, but I feel like that's just part of who we are. We aren't just surface level fucking beings. And I'm I feel like I've reached my limit of surface level connections and
Right.
conversations. Like, oh, stop boring me to death. Talk about something else.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear about no motherfucking problems.
Exactly. It's draining, ain't it? It's draining.
It is. I don't want to hear about no problems all the fucking time. Talk to me about something else. Now I get it. If you somebody I fuck with and that's the space that you in, then absolutely talk to me about your problems and all of that kind of shit. But right after that, I need to go watch some cartoons. I need to go laugh. I need to go talk to somebody who's going to make me chuckle because that heavy shit be heavy.
Yeah.
And I'm in a space where I just don't want to be heavy. Emotionally or spiritually heavy. Like, let's figure something else out. So I don't know.
I agree.
I was just rambling, but that's really where my brain is at. Like, I am tired of surface level conversations and connections and people who don't want to talk about shit outside of their problems. Yes, we know life is lifing. Duh. But what else? But what else? What else is happening in your life outside of life? Because we oftentimes forget to look at the other stuff that's happening while we are solely focused on life. Like the fuck? It's other good shit happening. But don't mind me and my little rant. So let's talk about the risky side of casual sex, because we know that I really do feel like casual sex can be beneficial if we do it right. You know, it can absolutely be beneficial. That we don't have to, be something to do something. And what do y'all think is one of the number one factors of being able to do something without being something?
Well, sometimes you have an attraction to someone, but then once you start becoming acquainted with them, you realize that you don't like them to be in a relationship with them.
Come on.
Okay. But you like kicking it with the person. You like, being in their company, but nothing further than that.
Mm-hmm.
And the sex might be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it just stops right there. Like it just is what it is at that point.
Keisha said, I get accused of acting like the man in the casual situations. I really don't even care how his day went.
Look, I'm with Keisha all the way. I really do not care. I mean, sometimes I think I treat them like an object, and
I get that, but I be needing to know because I need to know if this sex is gonna be good sex or is this gonna be some releasing sex because you had some shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Was this shit going on today that you needed to get this off?
I was just hoping you calling me if you had stuff going on.
Yeah, or was it that you was just craving me? And so you called me, because that's two different things. If you was craving me and you called me to come over here and get to it, that's cool. But if you had some shit going on, then you wanted to call me to come over here, that sex gonna hit different. So I need to know what was going on.
Yeah, but
you had no angry sex, I don't think.
I have, and sometimes it can turn out to be some.
Oh, absolutely.
Look, it can turn out to be some really far sex because he's taking out whatever frustration on you, but okay, I'm into some freaky shit. Okay, sorry. So I kind of like that rough, choke me, bank me, pull my hair, that type of stuff. So I've had experiences where, the person just had a bad day and they came over and I'll be like, well, take it out on me.
Okay, I ain't mad at that.
Take it out on me, you know what I'm saying? But that turns out to be really, really good. It can turn out to be really, really good sex, or it can turn out to be really bad sex. It's like a catch-22.
Yeah, so I think it depends on how the person processes their anger or their,
True.
their emotions. Like Deidre said earlier, she was saying like you got to be mature enough or emotionally stable enough. So I do think that plays a part in like how the angry sex might turn out. You know, if you had a bad day, yeah, come on, take it out on me, like right here. But if they just are angry, like if they just an angry person and everything is angry, get your motherfucking angry ass up off me, sir. I don't want that tonight. I was over here chilling. I was happy. I was happy. I had a great day. I thought you was coming over here to give me some happy sex.
Right.
So, okay. So, when do y'all think? Oh, I asked what's the number one thing for it to be able to be a good situation. And I feel like the best thing that you could do with somebody is communicate.
I was just going to say that.
Communication.
Communication is the number one.
Is key.
Communication rule the nation, and comprehension. Communication and comprehension is going to always get you there.
Okay.
It's always
you communicate. If you ain't got somebody who can understand what you're communicating, it's a waste of your time.
You wasted y'all time.
When we talked about that a while ago on Tuesday night, I was like, that hit the nail on the head. That was confirmation for me. I was like, the communication got to be out the door, out the gate.
Yeah. And I think a lot of us communicated more. Matter of fact, we talked about it last week when we started talking about like BDSM relationships and things like that. Like, I really am thinking that I am going to operate my relationships moving forward in that way, because we finna sign this contract and we finna talk about what we do want, what we don't want, our hard nose, our negotiables, non-negotiable, all of that, because there's no way that it could be misunderstood if we sat down and had a conversation about it and really talked about what we wanted in this space. So, yeah. I think
I agree.
I think that's Doc, you silly. I really think that's how I'm going to move forward, because I have yet to see an emotionally and mentally stable BDSM relationship go left, especially when the people communicate and comprehend what they are into, what they dealing with, what they got going on, and all of the other things from there. So,
what does that acronym stand for?
BDSM.
Bondage,
dominance, fetichism, and masochism.
Yep.
I always mix them. That's why I have to say it slow.
Yep.
Sadism and masochism.
Some good stuff.
It's good stuff.
Good stuff.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Right.
Oh, good. It's some good
Get
stuff.
you a whip and start out with a whip.
Yeah, I ain't into all that, Gina.
But it's not even just that,
It's a lot of details to it.
It is.
Okay.
It's so many layers to it.
It really is.
A lot of people automatically go to some 50 Shades of Grey shit. No, don't ever think that. Okay? No. All right. Don't ever let that be your point of reference for that, because that is absolutely hell.
That's part of it, but that's not the gist of it.
I mean, even how they portrayed a lot of it just made it seem like it was all about sex and things like that, and it's not. So the risky side to casual sex. What y'all thinking? what's the risky side of the things?
Getting pregnant by that casual partner.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord. Oh
Yeah.
Lord.
Okay, catching some.
Say that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Having the conversation of your not your partners, but when was the last time you got tested? And can I see your documentation?
Oh, y'all went further than I was thinking. Oh.
I asked for documentation in this point of age, and everybody coming out with HIV coming out these days. I need to see your statuses.
That part.
I went and got tested yesterday when I went to the doctor. My finger still hurt a little bit because why you poke me that hard? But he poked the shit out of my finger with that little sticker thing. But I was actually talking about the risky side for your mental health.
Mental health.
Yes. What's the risky side of it when it hurts more than it helps? Because sometimes the casual sex can be like beneficial and really good to you, but when can it hurt more than it helps?
When you
get
catch feelings.
attached.
When you catch feelings and you want to more than casual sex, but the other party doesn't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's rough.
That's really rough. But that's the risk you take whenever you're dealing with anybody that you're having sex with.
Yep. Yep.
Yes, especially being a woman, because we're
emotional creatures.
And sometimes we can mistake that sexual for, oh, he's in love with me, or she's in, you know what I'm saying, she's in love with me because of the things they do to you.
And we talked about that last week with the chemicals, with the hormones.
Yes.
The oxytocin, the dopamine, and serotonin, and all of that moving through your body. And you literally can think that these things are creating something that is not there. Yeah.
Yep.
That's funky. But one of the risky things is that it hurts more than it helps when the expectations aren't clear. What is it that you expect of me in this space? Oh, what my ink pen at? Where is my ink pen?
Gotta take notes.
Yeah, I got I gotta add that to my list. Cause I said I got some hard conversations to have. That's an eyeliner. But I need to write that down. What's the expectations here? I'm gonna type it to myself. But not knowing what the expectations are will have you out here fucked up.
Facts.
And not having clear boundaries either.
That part.
Oh, Jesus. And so I just thought about this because asking what the expectations are is literally making it clear about not only how they want to move with you, but the true intentions. Like, because some people don't state their true intentions, but when I say, what's the expectation here? Then you got to tell me how you want me to move with you. And if you asking me to do shit that don't make fucking sense for the situation that we got going on, get your goof ass out my face. Because now you want something that we not agreeing to. So that's a good fucking question. I'm about to have all kind of conversations over the weekend. I might not have nobody come Sunday.
Right, it's 35.
Listen, yep, that's what Keisha said. Get your feelings involved and he don't feel the same. Or vice versa. Because they be mad when we don't feel the same.
Mhm.
Oh
But
yeah.
what Jasmine say, don't catch feelings. You don't even need them. Y'all got to learn some music. Y'all got to know the songs. Y'all go listen to Rasta by Jasmine Sullivan, okay? She
Yeah.
talking about niggas on her roster. She said, the world too big to think so small, baby. I got room to love them all.
Okay.
Okay? And they always answer when I call. Because I
Okay.
got room to love them all.
Mm.
But she said, don't catch feelings. You don't even need them. I'm not stopping in my prime. Okay? I'm finna go play that after this. But yes.
Yeah, I got to go listen to that too.
Yes, that's her Hotels album. Have y'all listened to Hotels? Go check out Hotels if y'all haven't.
Yeah, I
And
gotta.
I don't
I
even
gotta.
be promoting nobody else's shit, but Hotels is literally the shit. It is. It is so bomb. It is such an amazing album, but it is such a truthful album too.
It
So
is. It
go,
is.
yes, go listen to Roster.
I have listened to that album, but I gotta go listen to Roster.
Yeah, go listen to Roster.
Mm-hmm.
She says, I got room to love them all, okay? Hey, do you, baby boo.
Mm.
But also when it comes to casual sex, I think one of the other risky things is not just like catching feelings. I think it's when you avoid your own fucking feelings.
Mhm.
Like when you avoid your feelings, you don't say nothing, you choose not to necessarily engage with the person. I mean, you still having sex with them, but you know that you have more than just some casual sex type feelings, but you're going to avoid them but still be having sex and putting yourself through more turmoil and all of that because you're trying to be cool. Because you're trying to be cool, because you're trying to be, oh, well, we already know what it is, and I already agreed. So
Might well just fall
contracts
back.
can be rewritten.
Yep, it can be rewritten. You're just really playing with your own self because
Yep. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back.
you're letting that mindset set the tone.
Right.
So it's like, I don't want it. No.
Yeah, you need to either, I feel, express how you feel and that feelings have changed, or you just need to end, or you just need to end the situation.
Right. It's like you need to have that hard conversation
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
let them know, hey, I understand that was just casual, but my feelings have changed. If you're not feeling the same way, I understand, but at this point, I think I need to walk away, or we need to reevaluate what's going on, because who's doing that? I mean, I'm not. Because I know if I feel a certain way about you, I'm going to let you know. If you don't agree with it, I'm fine. I mean, because I expressed how I feel. So I'm going ahead and let you know. You go about your business. We good. I see you out in the street. I'm still going to speak to you. But baby, you
Mm-hmm.
ain't never get between these legs again. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Because I already know how my feelings is towards you. And I'm not going to play with myself.
Mhm.
Right.
I'm not going to play with myself. No. I'm not gonna do
Right. I totally agree. Now, I think in a lot of cases, the man will suppress their feelings
it. Mm-hmm.
more so than the woman.
True.
I think they're going to be more prideful, definitely, than the woman. Because a lot of times the men initiate the casual sex.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of times they will.
Yeah.
And then you playing the game, but then they catch feelings.
I know. And then if you ever noticed when they catch feelings, their whole little demeanor is kind of off.
Change. It
Mhm.
changes. It changes. It gets weird.
Yeah,
Mhm.
It
like
gets awkward.
what they say. Why you being weird to me? Yeah, and then you be like, "You okay?" You know, that pride, they're not gonna admit, hey, I feel like, I want to take this to another level, because they already knew what the whole situation was.
Now, somebody that's really secure in their emotions will let you know.
That part.
Have you met one?
I have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was able to express everything that they needed to express to you.
But I wasn't ready for all of that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I mean, but at the end of the day, I can respect it, because he was just like, yo, wait a minute. What we doing? I love it. I love your vibe, all of this. And he was like, I just really want to take it further, and I hope you're on the same page with me. And I was like, get somebody else to do it. I'm not even gonna hold you. That's just the way at that time, that's the way I felt. And like you said, sometimes, I get accused of like you acting like a man in a situation. My pastor even told me, he was like, baby girl, you sound like you the man part of the relationship. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I don't hear women talking like the way you talk. Get it? You don't have to touch me. You ain't got to cuddle with me. You're your corner. I go to my corner. Situations like that. But now I'm starting to realize you can't be like that all your life. You miss out on so much because I was guarded, and that's what it is. I can admit it. I was very much guarded from past relationships and hurt. And you can't take baggage from old relationships and bring it into new relationships. It's not conducive to the whole relationship. If you're trying to build with someone and you bring in all this old baggage, well, he's going to treat me the same way that he treated me. No, baby. I think you should heal yourself before you go into a relationship, a serious relationship with anybody.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can't heal yourself until you're actually in something, even if it's a situationship or something casual, because you don't know something's actually like not healed until you're actually in it. And then you're going to have to figure out, like, because my therapist told me once that sometimes you're going to have to heal with somebody else in your life. And I was like, that's not real. And I thought I was healed. And then I started dating, and then I was like, I'm not healed. There are certain aspects of my life that I needed to heal with somebody else in it to bring point parts that I need to still work on in my own self. So if I'm like in a situationship, a casual, or I'm just dating, the other person had to bring out the trauma responses that I guess I was holding on to.
I personally feel like the healing journey is going to be ongoing.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it ever ends. And like you said, it's not until you interact with someone else, if you know that you're healed from certain parts of a previous relationship, something that happened in that relationship that hurt you, or maybe you get triggered by something and it affects you. You see what I'm saying? And then you like, okay, I thought I was past that, but I'm really not past that. You see what I'm saying? So I just feel like healing is just going to be ongoing, and you just learn with every new encounter.
True.
With every person that you encounter.
That's true. Because you never know what's going to trigger.
Yeah.
What's hidden deep within you.
Mm-hmm.
You in a new relationship and something may pop up. You're right, Deidre. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
But
then too, just like you said, Lindsay, I agree with you, where you can heal from certain hurt and pain that you've experienced in a previous relationship in a new one, because that person may have filled that void, or they know how to love you in the way that you need to be loved and cared for when the previous person didn't. And that can be healing.
That's true.
Yeah, that can be healing. So yeah, it just depends.
Y'all better talk y'all talk. I hear y'all. I hear you. I ain't mad at it. Oh, y'all keep talking. Don't stop because I got it back over.
Did you get your notes together?
Well, like Dietrich said, I had to think about it. You are always going to continue. It's like a path of healing. So it's like, that's a good thing, because if you stop healing, that's not a good thing. It's not good for you or the person you're dealing with. So yeah, I agree very much with you.
I think it's gonna be ongoing forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
I just think it's gonna be never ending, the healing journey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think people think healing is linear. Healing is just that shit is.
It's different levels.
You gonna go backwards a couple times, or you gonna regress, and then you gonna have to come back forward, and then you might not go back as far sometimes, but you definitely gonna have them moments where you're gonna go backwards.
Right.
And then you gotta remember what you learned or the tools that you used and all of that other kind of stuff to get back to where you were.
Right.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks think healing is linear, and that a lot of what we go through or what we deal with in order to heal is it's supposed to be easy. Healing ain't easy.
Mm-mm.
When you get a sore and then that scab starts to come over, do you know how hard it is to not scratch it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what healing is. It's like, that's literally healing. You literally be looking at that sore, or you know what? The one that happens at the top of your mouth, the roof of your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
When you get that little sore or that little scrape at the top of your mouth, and you trying your best not to tongue fuck it, and the whole time, like, you are really trying your best not to, because it's irritated and it hurts, but it's healing, and you trying your best not to.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a matter of understanding that healing is ugly. Scabs, when the scab is there, that shit is ugly. So we got to recognize that healing is ugly, but it's necessary. Healing is ugly, but it's also very beautiful at the same time, because it helps you to see the layers of yourself that you don't see when you just sitting in the shit that you chose to see. Yeah.
It's growth. Say that again. That's
growth.
Gross as hell. Man, damn, that shit is gross. I feel like that's a part of the place that I'm in right now, is trying not to go backwards. And I feel like I did, and I'm trying to figure out why and how. How did I go backwards, and why? Why did I go backwards? What changed, or what? And sometimes it might not have been no change. What desires line up with what I wanted at that point in my life that's lining up at this point in my life that made me do certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But sometimes the desire doesn't go away. You just stop doing it, or you just don't have the access to the things in order to do that activity. Or so, yeah, shit is wild out here, y'all.
Very.
So we talked about a lot about the science of sex and stuff last week, and so again, the same thing occurs when we are talking about sex and mental health. The science is dopamine, oxytocin, and attachment. So sex chemicals aren't casual, and that's the issue when having casual sex. The sex chemicals aren't casual. How our brains trick us into bonding is not casual. So even though we say that we're having casual sex, there is something that attaches us to this person. There is something that we are going to desire or crave or want from this person, even when we say it's just casual. Well, it may be casual, and then you'll be like, well, but you don't call me. I mean, but you could reach out. I mean, you could check in on a
Because I miss him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but you could check in on a bitch, see how I'm doing. I mean, but you could, or you could.
I want to hear your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of things. And so our brains aren't casual, but we treat sex like it's casual and like we are able, some of us are able to navigate through those spaces, but we can't deny the science in it all is that bonding and attachment happens in sex because of the sex chemicals. We deep dived into those chemicals last week.
We sure did.
So we can't say that we don't know about how sex attaches us or bonds us to people. The bigger part of that picture is that, okay, because we know, what is it that we're going to do in order to make sure that that we don't fall prey to our own shit? So if you out here having casual sex, you better be prepared. Because the way that brain be functioning and the way that
I ain't about that life no more. I'm not about that life no more. I gave it up.
Listen,
I ain't built for it no more.
Yeah, I ain't had none in a minute. But my phone been getting a whole lot. Let me just say that. My phone been getting a lot. I ain't had none, but my phone been over here blowing up. And I ain't really mad about it, but I ain't had none, and I'm over here a little upset. But I ain't trying to let them sex chemicals, do their thing, and I be over here lusting but there are different attachment styles, and with those different attachment styles, they show up in relationships differently. So you do have the avoidant attachment style, and so that's the person who ain't trying to attach, but like they like you, they really, really want to be with you and all of that other kind of stuff, but they are going to avoid you at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because that's how they have learned or been programmed and wired. Then there's the anxious attachment. Okay, that's Lindsay in the situationships. She said sometimes she get attached in them situationships. That's the anxious, because it's supposed to be a situationship, and then it still ends up like with all the confusion and all of that other kind of stuff. Baby, latch it on. And I can't think of the other attachment style off the top of my head, but there's a really good book called Attached. If you read it, it will tell you about all the different attachment styles and how to become. Let me look it up real quick. The book is called Attached. I know that because I have the book. And I started reading it. It's not one of the books that you can just breeze through type of thing. It's a real deep dive. Secure attachment. So it's secure, anxious, avoidant, and fearful avoidant. So
fearful avoidant.
Fearful, yep. Dismissive avoidant, fearful avoidant, anxious, preoccupied, and then there's secure. So it's 4. And I'll break them down real quick because
can you define them? Them.
Secure attachment. Individuals with a secure attachment style feel comfortable with intimacy and independence, trust their partners, and can express their emotions openly. They have a positive view of themselves and others and can navigate relationships with healthy boundaries. I'm going to tell y'all something. Not many people are or have a secure attachment style. So don't feel bad if you feel like you fall into one of these other categories. That was something that I learned, that not many people have secure attachment styles. Okay. So anxious, preoccupied attachment is people with this style crave closeness and intimacy, but fear being abandoned. They may be overly sensitive to their partner's actions and moods and may worry about their partner's feelings or their own worthiness. Okay. Dismissive avoidant attachment. Those with dismissive avoidant attachment style prioritize independence and often avoid emotional intimacy. They may be aloof or detached, prefer to handle things on their own, and avoid discussing deep feelings. Okay. Lastly, fearful avoidant attachment is also known as disorganized attachment style. This style involves a mixed pattern of both anxious and avoidant tendencies. Individuals with this style may experience conflicting emotions and behaviors in relationships, often stemming from unresolved trauma or inconsistent caregiving in their childhood. They may crave closeness, but also fear rejection or vulnerability. So, those are the 4 attachment styles. Okay. And that's how they show up in regards to casual sex. Because we might be out here portraying that we want casual sex, but they also, those attachment styles are part of who we are. So those are the things that are going to show up as we're trying to date, as we're trying to build relationships. So a lot of the stuff that we say, even though we may feel like we being honest and truthful with ourselves, that we can have this casual sex or this casual encounter with this person, the truth is, you can't.
Just don't do it.
The truth is, you can't. There is some form of attachment or closeness that you are going to garner from a casual sexual relationship, situationship, or friends with benefits. Now, it may not be to the depths of, a deep, soul-stirring relationship, but it's there. Okay. And where we at on time? Where we at on time tonight? Because we just been chatting. Oh, okay, we got a little time. Keisha said, I don't ask my casual situations for nothing outside of meeting my physical needs. He be trying to call and catch up. I'd be like, so are you stopping by or what?
Period.
Yes, Keisha.
Period.
Yes.
I love it.
Keisha, she said, hold up. If you ain't coming back, we not about to be on this phone, sir.
But have you noticed how the roles have switched? Because men used to be like that. And now women are more taking charge.
Yeah. It's a lot more women who like,
needs.
I don't want all of that. I don't want all of that. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it what we said we was gonna keep it at.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I get that. So one of the things that we have to learn how to do, if you're gonna be out here having casual sex or friends with benefits or whatever, is setting boundaries. You gotta set some healthy fucking boundaries in these things, like Keisha just did. No, we is not having no casual conversation. Don't call me to check in. Are you coming by to do what I need you to do or no? Because if the answer is or no, then we don't need to be talking. So, setting the expectation. That's pretty much what setting the boundary is. Setting the expectation. This is how I expect. This is what I want. This is what I need. Blah blah blah. Da 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 da. And that's where we leave it at. Check-ins and safe sex conversations. So one of the things that we talked about a while ago was emotional aftercare. I don't think it was on this season, but we did talk about emotional aftercare when it comes to sex or when it comes to sex or friends with benefits or casual sexual encounters. And do you feel like it's necessary to talk after y'all have done the deed?
No.
What we talking about?
Man, y'all some cold motherfuckers.
What we talking about?
Say it again.
Yes.
Y'all is some cold pieces of work.
But what we're gonna talk about though, honestly.
Exactly.
I'm not saying you got to. I'm just, y'all faces was like, the fuck?
Hey,
what was the faces? Y'all some cold pieces of work.
The only thing I'm saying is, would you like a washcloth?
Listen,
I ain't even gonna say that. I'll be like, the bathroom right there, the towels is up in their cabinet.
That part, yes.
Bye.
I will walk you to the door, get a bottle of water on your way out. You know where it's at. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And then not even just like having conversations, but also talking about safe sex, having those conversations with that person or those people, because it is necessary to know if the other person is out here having casual sex with other people, then what that looks like as well. And I think we discount a lot of those conversations because we just think that the person is not out here having sex. But a good portion of the time they are. And a good portion of the time, somebody ends up a casualty due to that casual sex. And like we said earlier, somebody might end up pregnant. Somebody might end up with something. And we hope that that's not the case, but we got to stop just having or be so trusting that people aren't doing what people do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Ask the questions and again, ask for tests before you start laying down.
yeah. So tell me one of y'all, I'm gonna get in y'all business now. So tell me one of y'all wild friends with benefits or situationships that y'all truly enjoyed. Not one that went awry or none of that. One that y'all really enjoyed.
Ooh, I got one. I had one. He used to call me whenever he went to lunch. And he used to work at night. He worked at he was a truck driver. And yeah. He'd be like, yo, what you doing? I was like, nothing. He said, I'm doing lunch. Come on, let me do you. So I'd be like, I get in my car, go over there. When I get over there, he'd be like, hey, little girl, here's a sucker. I'd be like, what's the sucker for? He says, for you. He says, suck on this while I suck on you. Oh, okay, baby. Yeah.
Damn, straight to the point.
Yeah. It's that Scorpio. Yeah.
Hey. He just said, I was talking about what time you leaving.
Baby.
Listen, what time is you going?
Soon as you finish, soon as you buzz, go.
Listen, cause we ain't leaving without that. Okay. What about the rest? What about y'all? What about y'all? I'm over here trying to think.
I've had a friends with benefits situation a few years back that I really, really enjoyed, because when me and the person were together, it was just such a vibe. Like, we never argued. It was just cool. We just really loved being in each other's presence. But you know, it was a known fact that there was no commitment.
Yeah.
It was a known fact that there was no commitment. The person, when I met them, they had just gotten out of a relationship. So I already knew, like, nah, they need time to heal. You know, but we enjoyed each other's, we gave each other companionship. And everybody actually thought we were in a relationship, but it was one of those situations we was like, what's understood don't have to be explained. Like, no, we're not in a relationship. We actually conducted ourselves like we were, but we knew that we weren't.
Yeah. Yeah. I ain't mad at it. One of mine was a guy that I met some years ago. And when I say we had the best time, and it did eventually go awry, but it did eventually go left because he thought he was sneaky. But I was like, baby, you ain't been out in the streets long enough to try to be sneaky with somebody like me, okay? You could have just kept it a buck. But like, we had a really good time for a long time. And like, if I wasn't at home, I was over there. And if he wasn't at home, he was over here. It was that kind of thing. And it was so funny because I'm very big on not meeting people's kids unless I'm going to be in your life for quite some time. Randomly got to meet the kids. And I was like, why would you do that? But like, I was really like, conversation yet. Why would we do this? But he was a really good guy. We had fun. Like, he was a nerd. I learned so much stuff about hip hop and history from that man. Yeah, it was a lot of things that I truly enjoyed as far as like just casual or just like a situationship kind of thing. That it was always fun. Like, we just knew how to be in each other's presence without making it always about the sex. Like, we really could kick it or play the game. And that was back when I smoked. So we would smoke and we would eat and make random snacks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was that homie. Like, we could make random snacks and watch a documentary and be asleep or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I miss him though, because he had a mouth on him.
Okay.
Man,
me and the person that I was referencing that I had friends with benefit situation with 3 years ago, we didn't even have a lot of sex. Like, we just genuinely vibe. We did a lot of talking. We did not watch a lot of TV.
I mean, we did it all, but we definitely was in there having sex.
We didn't have a lot of sex at all. That was the crazy thing about it. Like,
definitely having sex. But also outside of the sex, it was just like we could have a good time, you know, and he wasn't like newly divorced, but he was newly divorced. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had been a couple years, but that's why I say he hadn't been in the streets long enough to be sneaky with somebody like me. I'm very observant, and people try to act like I don't see what I be seeing, but I see what I be seeing. So, I was like, yeah, I don't like that you tried to be sneaky when you didn't have to be. But other than that, like, that was my homie. That was good. If I needed anything, I could call, hey, buddy, you know, whatever. But also, if I be like, hey, you coming through? Yep. That was it. That was all. We was going to make it do what it do. So, yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I miss him, dog, because he had a mouth on him. Shout out to him.
You know who you are.
Listen.
if you know, you know.
Baby.
You know, okay? You know who you is, sir. I don't know if you be watching, but you know who you is. What about you, Lindsay?
My one successful situationship was with a fraternity man. He was the best man. He came through. We would watch TV. We would hang out a little bit. He would smoke, because I wasn't a really big smoker back then, and he would lay it down. He didn't. I wouldn't always finish, but it was enjoyable. More enjoyable than I've had in a very long time. And it was after a very long dry spell. Well, after being celibate for 2 years. So it was good. And he did what he needed to do. And then we would hang out. And then he would go home. It was perfect. And then we had an appointment every like 2 to 3 times a week.
Come on, appointment.
Okay.
And then he'd be about his business. And then, you know, eventually he ghosted me because he got weird. But they always get weird somewhere.
Because guess what? Them feelings start.
It wasn't me.
Wheels got to turning. It not necessarily with you. I'm saying probably with him.
It was probably him.
Them wheels got to turning, and he was like, the only way I could leave this alone is if I ghost her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was fun though. I've never had sex with somebody who was in a fraternity, and he showed me why he, you know, was a hoe in college.
He was one of them. He was one of them, wasn't he?
He was
one of them.
You know,
he was barking, wasn't he? He was an atomic dog, wasn't it?
He was doing he was something. I don't know. It wasn't one of those conservative ones at all. It was like a nerd on the outside, but a hardcore freak on the inside. So I wasn't mad at whatever fraternity he was in, but he did talk about himself a lot. So I wasn't necessarily interested. I think that's why I didn't get like attached. I wasn't interested about him as a person. He was kind of a little conceited.
Mm.
But
So he did a lot of talking about himself,
his finances, where he's going to live, because I was in Seattle, so what apartments he was going to live and all these other things. And at some points I was like, are you just going to actually have a conversation? And then every once in a while he'll like bring me in the conversation, but it'll be about money and what he was doing, his fraternity, the sorority, and I'm just like, I have no interest in any of this.
He was self-centered.
Yes, very
Absolutely.
much so.
Absolutely. He was a nice guy. It's just not for me.
Keisha said, "Ain't nothing like someone with a nice mouthpiece." Hey, okay, listen.
That's right. Say it ain't so.
Man, might make your head pop out type shit. Okay. I love it. Cause yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, and yes, ma'am. Damn it. I didn't mean to close that. But yes, get a few more things, then we up out of here, y'all. We appreciate y'all for sticking around, chit-chatting with the aunties on this evening. Okay, let's see. So, final thoughts. Make sure that you are intentional about your pleasure. That's one of the biggest things that we talk about a lot of times here on this show is being intentional about pleasure, making pleasure, your pleasure, the center of pleasure at all. You know what I'm saying? Like your pleasure should be the center of the pleasure that you're getting. Not anybody else's, whatever it is that you choose to do, whether it is fuck them all or fuck none of them. Like your pleasure is what your power is, and that's not just a woman thing. That's for men too. You are entitled to have pleasure that is soul stirring, that is toe curling. Your pleasure is a part of who you are as a human being and as a person. Now, what that pleasure may look like is dependent upon you. We don't yuck nobody's yum. So whatever you do it. But as long as you ain't fucking with no babies, no animals, or none of that, we good to go. Okay, right. Cool. So you deserve whatever works for you. If it's casual, cool, be casual. If you doing situationships or friends with benefits, whatever works for you is cool, as long as it's safe, honest, and feels good emotionally too. Because you don't want nothing fucking with your feelings. Because fucking with your feelings is fucking with your peace. Okay? Okay. All right. But also make sure that y'all know the difference in what it is that y'all be out here doing. Because sometimes we think we just be horny or like we super horny all the time. Maybe you're not horny. Maybe you need some intimacy. Maybe you need some connection. Maybe you need a hug. Maybe you need to go to bed. You know what I'm saying? But then again, you might be all of the above. So you might need somebody to hug on your horny ass. And that's okay. But we also have to stop thinking that all the time that sex is going to fill the voids. It's not. Sex is not going to fill all the voids that you have. Sex is not going to help you to be a better person. Sex is not going to help you to figure out your life. Because a lot of times we get out here and get to having sex and we fuck up our lives. Okay? So be mindful of those things. But get out here and have a good time. Sex is part of what we out here supposed to be doing anyway. I ain't saying just go fuck no any and everybody. But I'm definitely saying go out here and have you some good sex. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Make sure you have good sex. And when you having good sex, that you having it with somebody who's going to be good to you mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Because that's part of your mental health all the way around. Every part of that is going to eventually affect your mental health. So make sure it's intact. And then stop fucking with people who fuck with your peace. If we can't communicate, we can't have conversations, and we can't be on one accord, then baby, I gotta let you go because you fucking with my peace and you fucking with my ability to be chill. And being chill is what I'd rather do than be in jail. Bet. Okay. So, next thing. Let's not get out here and get the shaming folks because they want to have sex without commitment, especially women, because that's one of the things that the world loves to do. They love to try to shame women and ring the bell, the shame bell, to make women feel bad because they want to have sex without commitment. It's nothing wrong with wanting to have sex without commitment, but it is a lot of things wrong with having sex without commitment, but then desiring commitment and all the other things that come with a relationship, and then denying yourself that. There's a lot wrong with that. Okay. So that's it, y'all. Just get out here and live your life to the fullest. Enjoy it in whatever way you see fit. As long as you ain't out here fucking with nobody's peace or nobody's day or nobody's mental health, then get out here and live your life and live it to the fullest. All right. Make sure you continue to keep pleasure at the center of all the things you do. Because pleasure is, my God, today.
It's a priority.
Listen, pleasure is everything. And you deserve to be pleased. You deserve to have pleasure. You deserve to have all the orgasms and all the fun and all the amazement that comes with pleasure. Okay? But make sure, if you love watching the Crazy Rich Aunties, to check us out on all your major podcast streaming platforms. And if you want to donate to us, feel free to donate to the Crazy Rich Aunties or the Fat Girl Chronicles Tuesday show. You can do so. You can cash app us at Leo Rochelle. We also have Venmo and PayPal. Okay. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. PGC After Dark. You can put that in anywhere. PGC After Dark. It'll pop up, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of those places. You can find us there. All right. If you got a topic idea for PGC After Dark, you can send us a DM or email us at pgcafterdarkpodcast@gmail.com. But we want to thank y'all for spending y'all Friday with us right here on PGC After Dark. We will not be here next Friday. Y'all know how we do. We have the first Fridays off to regroup and get all of the dopeness together. So we won't be here next Friday. But catch us in 2 weeks for some new episodes. And those are just as spicy as these. Okay? All right. Give y'all a spoiler. We talking about post-nut clarity on one of those shows. Okay. So be prepared for some more spicy conversations that are necessary for us to be the best selves that we can be when it comes to our sexual health, wellness, sensuality, intimacy, and connecting with our pleasure and our relationships. All right, y'all. So keep it grown, keep it sexy, keep it classy, and always keep it spicy. And whatever you do for the rest of the evening and the rest of the week, y'all, don't do it with your half-ass, do it with your whole ass. All right? This is PGC After Dark with the Crazy Rich Aunties. I'm your girl, Leo Rochelle. We got Auntie Regina in this thing. Auntie D right here. Auntie D, hey girl. And last but not least, we got Auntie Lindsay in this thing. We are signing off. We thank y'all so much for being here. And we look forward to seeing y'all in 2 weeks now. Come on back. get ready for some more spicy, some more sexy, some more laughs, and deep diving into some sexual things. Okay, y'all. We up at this thing. We love y'all. Good night.
Good night.
Trust. Dependency. Love. Respect. Passion. Pain. Intimacy. Pleasure. I sit here stuck inside my head, remembering you and I analyze all those things you said. You told me you loved me, you kissed and you hugged me, then you smiled, look in my eyes and tell me that you